I've been visiting Vancouver Island off the coast of British Columbia for Christmas. Every time I visited before, I've been coming from Vancouver City and using BC ferries to get to the island. Now that's worked fantastically. The only downside of it is that you've got to take a bus between Vancouver City and Horseshoe Bay, where BC Ferries departs from, to Nanaimo. That was the only route available if you didn't want to fly. Until recently, and the launch of Hullo Ferries. Today I'm going to take this new route to me, which goes from Nanaimo to downtown Vancouver, and to be honest, doing without that long bus ride that BC Ferries requires might be a bit of a game changer for foot passengers like me.
Thank you so much for hosting me so beautifully and being so kind.
It's been a pleasure.
Yep. Oh, that's it, is it? Coming over?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, and not a breath of wind according to that windsock.
My name's Patrick and I've been writing about travel since 2006. I never fail to get excited about travelling on a new route, like today's Hullo Ferry. These roped off areas indicate where people in different classes on board the boat have to stand before boarding, so if you're in one of the higher classes, you board first and so on.
But I mean, you've got an assigned seat, so it doesn't matter really. Then you walk out there, do you? Oh.
This terminal building looks pretty sharp from the outside, although quite a lot of people chose to stand outside, watch the ferry coming in. I like a little bit of warmth, so I decided to go inside on this quite cool and rainy day in Nanaimo. The space here isn't absolutely huge, but there was more than enough seating on this day, and the view through these large glass windows is absolutely spectacular, like most of the scenery in this part of the world. Before long we were called, and I was in Zone B, which is for comfort class passengers. Comfort is effectively coach or economy. Honestly, I didn't have to wait long until it was my turn to board, and the staff were so friendly.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Hiya.
Wonderful. Thank you, Patrick.
Thanks a lot.
If you're thinking about taking this route, you should note that there's quite a long walk from the terminal building to the ferry. For me, that wasn't a particular issue, and it wasn't raining at this particular point. If you have any issues with walking, you should check in with Hullo Ferries first. And if the weather is bad, you really need to have an appropriate coat, and possibly a brolly, to keep the worst of the rain or the snow off you en route to the ferry. Now, let's talk about the three classes of travel on Hullo Ferries. They call them Comfort, Premium, and Business. Comfort provides you with a reserved seat on the main deck, plus you get free Wi-Fi, and you have access to a shared charging port if you need one. The main deck is wheelchair accessible. A premium seat gives you a better view because it's on the upper deck of the ferry. You get priority boarding and disembarkation, and you've got your own charging port. I believe your free Wi-Fi is also faster. Business passengers effectively are the same as premium passengers, except they get a complimentary snack and beverage. In terms of one-way pricing, Comfort costs $39.99, Premium $49.99, and Business $59.99. Of course, you have to add taxes to that. There is a saving by travelling round trip. For Comfort, it's $75 round trip. For Premium, it's $90 round trip, and for Business, it's $110 round trip. Even with my Comfort ticket, it didn't take long to get on board the ferry, and everybody is so welcoming. Right inside the door here on the left and on the right hand side, there's plenty of luggage storage. You do have a limit on how much you can take on board. That's where I stored my little rollerboard. I thought I might be sitting in this area, but I wasn't. I was in seat 5C, which is to the front here on the left-hand side. I had tried to book a window seat, but there weren't any available at the time of booking. The leather seats here and their cream colour look very fresh, and to be honest, they're quite comfortable. There's a tray table, an elasticated pocket where you can stow your iPad or newspaper or book. But to be honest, you're not on board for all that long, so some of these things are maybe a little less important than on a flight. On this particular ferry, you can't get outside from the main deck. Only crew are allowed to go outside here. Ferries are so efficient because once everyone was boarded, off we went. As simple as that. I was travelling on the 1 p.m. sailing. No snacks on board for Comfort passengers. so I brought my own crisps with me. Let's have a quick look at the bathroom. The ferry had been running all morning, and I don't think honestly it had been cleaned in between. It seemed to be pretty well used. Look at how fast this ferry goes. It's really impressive. As this was just after Christmas, the ferry was really busy. I kept trying to see what was happening out of the window and couldn't see very much, to be honest. That is a big difference with BC ferries, because on BC ferries everybody can step outside and really see the beauty of this part of British Columbia. Here I was catching a glimpse of the shorelines of West and North Vancouver on our way towards downtown. Plus, this view of the shipyards is one of the most famous ones if you've ever cruised out of Canada Place in Vancouver, so it was fun to see it coming in on a ferry. The very last stretch, once the ferry passes Stanley Park and before it docks, seems to at least feel like the slowest part of the journey. It really crawls along. I'm sure there's some logical nautical reason for it, but when you think you're almost there, you've probably got a lot longer to wait. Those premium and business passengers get to disembark first, and then it's comfort passengers. This does take a few minutes. And if lots of people ahead of you are carrying heavy luggage, it can take even a bit longer. If you can see the staircase there on the left, my goal is to go up one level, because that's the level you need to be at in order to access the shops and restaurants around Canada Place, but also you need to go up at least one and possibly two levels to be able to go onwards into downtown Vancouver or to connect to the SkyTrain, whatever it is that you're doing. This trip takes just 1 hour and 15 minutes to get from Nanaimo to downtown Vancouver, and for me as a foot passenger that makes a huge amount of sense. However, don't write off BC ferries. If you're a car driver or you're travelling in the summer and you want to get out on deck to take some amazing photographs on your way from Vancouver Island to Horseshoe Bay, then by all means take BC ferries. Having done that, it's stunning, but this route is truly nice and fast. That's it for this episode of Planet Patrick. I hope you enjoyed our short trip together on board Hullo Ferries. My channel is very small. I'd love to have some additional subscribers, so if you're not already subscribed, please do. And if you could like and share the video, that tells the YouTube algorithm to share videos like mine with people who might enjoy them. Until the next episode of Planet Patrick, take care. Bye bye.